hoping, hopefully, that they didn't pick it up and just wave it off.
Yeah.
They've done that twice tonight already.
That's why I stand away from everybody.
Oh, pretty much the official crew has been pretty good. They've give great indications. They've shown great signs, and they've been right in on each play.
So the ball will be spotted.
Foul.
At the
We're spearing on the white. First down.
personal foul for spearing against the Dallas Diesel, and that will put the ball at the 47-yard line. Only 59 seconds into this final quarter of play. Oklahoma, I think, at this point can just afford maybe to pull out some of the stops. Keep gunning it. Don't need to go deep on every play because those passes can be kind of dangerous also, but maybe just try some quick, short strike type of plays.
See, Oklahoma's a little bit disoriented because they didn't even have their running back in. He had to come in the last second.
And there was a quick high pass, almost intercepted on the far sideline.
Oh my God!
Stone once again trying some of those dangerous pass plays that we saw here, especially late in the third quarter and here early in the fourth quarter.
To the same side, too. He's throwing them dangerous lob passes. He's not trying to thread the needle, but then again, he can't get over that offensive line that defensive line too easily either, because the defensive line for the Dallas Diesel is forcing the offensive line for the Oklahoma Bad Boys all the way into the backfield. So he doesn't have much time to get rid of the ball. And when he does get rid of the ball, he's got to lob it. He's got to throw it over the defensive line.
Well, he likes to throw to his left, and he's a right-handed quarterback. And at least 3 times now we've seen him have some problems with that. Twice he's been intercepted, and just now almost intercepted again.
There was a penalty again. Now see, this is where you find out that there's a lot of players on the team that are getting their first opportunities to play for the Dallas Diesel, because there's a lot more mistakes going on, a lot more penalties. Number 52, Bobby Gooseby, pretty good player. He's in on a lot of the plays.
And here again, they give Oklahoma 15 more yards, and that'll put them a little bit closer. Stone fires straight up the middle of the field, almost has that one picked off.
What are they saying?
Bring it back to the 37-yard line, and this time it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Oklahoma has not sustained a good offensive drive since they've gotten the ball this whole second half. They've gotten the majority of their yards off of penalties, which is being penalized or receiving the penalties that have been given to the Dallas Diesel at 15 yards a while.
Yeah, and it does look like the Dallas Diesel, whatever defensive adjustments they made at halftime, they definitely worked. They've had pressure on Stone most of the time, and a lot of the times here in the latter part of the third quarter and now into the fourth quarter, he's found 2 or more men around his receivers every time he's looked. Now this time he was able to get it to Craig Johnson, but a very short play that will lose yardage, in fact.
Tackle by Bobby Goolsby, number 52. He can get in on the play. Now we got an offsides call. Encroachment defense. There's a lot of you can tell this isn't the starting team, the starting defense, because they're getting a lot more penalties. But I guess you can take them kind of chances when you're up by 33 points with 11 minutes left in the game.
Some of the guys kind of out of sync, so that will negate the passing play, which went for negative yardage, and instead it will give Oklahoma 5 yards. They'll keep 2nd down. Now we'll have a 2nd and 5.
But this is when they usually make the mistake, and there's usually an interception or something, because they're moving down the field, eating up a lot of clock.
Stone receives the snap, drops straight back, fires high and short, intercepted this time by Willie Freeney. Freeney came up with it and caught it short at about the 10-yard line.
I predicted it.
Yes, you did.
I told you this is when they start getting to that false sense of confidence, and he goes back in the pocket and throws a bad pass, and pow, there's an interception, and the ball's given up. Now that's the only one good thing that the defense have done this whole series. Get an interception when they was giving up all the yardage by a penalty. When we look at the stats at the end of the game, we're going to notice that the Dallas Diesel has close to 100+ yards in penalties.
Well, so now if you're Coach Jewell from the Dallas Diesel, do you go all out and try to get it down the field, or you're up by 33 points, do you just start sitting on the football here a little bit?
What you do, you work your plays. You see he got a different quarterback in there now. You work your plays. You work the ones that you haven't had opportunity to practice. That's timeout at Oklahoma City. Bad Boys. But he's got the quarterback number 8 in there who was playing tight end at one point. Number 8, Mr. Edward Randolph.
Yes.
Oh, Edward and Terrence look like they might be brothers.
Yeah, one Randolph comes in to replace the other quarterback. Yeah, man, I see Terrence Randolph now, as Edward Randolph has come over to the sideline to talk things over with the coaching staff. Terrence Randolph, who had played at quarterback up until this point, also in there wanting to confer with him and maybe tell him, hey, this is how you do it.
Yeah. You know how they do, the quarterbacks, plus their brothers are maybe, well, they got to be brothers, cousins or something. I remember there's a tandem here, but I'll ask him after the game. Next week we'll know. But this week, he's going to come in, and what he's going to do, the coaches are going to work plays so that these guys can get used to working the ball, working it down the field. I would predict that they're going to come out with a couple of running plays, one up the middle, maybe one to each side, and then quick slants or quick passes just to eat up the clock and move down the field.
Yeah, most of the wide receivers look to be the same. Yeah. Smith moves from wide receiver, now will go to the backfield. Carl Davis will be the tight end on your side. Now they go to the wishbone look. And it is conservative coming out, just like you mentioned there. First handoff goes straight ahead. Charles Jenkins.
That first handoff picked up 5 yards. And they're going with a no-huddle offense.
So the running play, keeping it in the middle of the field between the hash marks, keeps the clock running. But with this no-huddle offense, that's a curious move. Ball is on the field. New quarterback might have some problems there. I see 2 players mixing it up. Penalty marker's going to be thrown there. I saw some players slugging it out over on the far hash mark. And meanwhile, we'll try to get the fumble situation sorted out for you.
Penalty marker.
I think the problem is going to be with number 52 of the Oklahoma Bad Boys arguing and fighting, and number 79, Oklahoma Bad Boys.
Yes, 79 Carlo Keeney for Oklahoma was mixing it up with Andre Whitby, 67 for the Dallas Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some punches thrown, although I don't know how much damage a punch could do in these football helmets. But
well, you punch them anyway.
Yeah.
You punch because you want to show how tough you are. And this game is not nearly as violent as hockey. And in hockey, you don't wear a helmet. And the officials let you fight.
Yeah.
Okay, they're trying to work it out right now. It looks like it's going to be an offsetting penalty.
What we got? We got a dead ball. Over here. Ejection. Dead ball. Over here. Ejection.
So they move back.
Second down, 12.
Okay, so they did get the legal procedure called in, right?
Yes. So the Dallas Diesel will keep the football. They will operate from their own 7-yard line. Each player has just had, or each team has just had a player ejected. Carlo Keeney for Oklahoma, number 79. Number 67 for Dallas, Andre Whitby. I just saw Whitby making his way to the dressing room there.
Oh!
And meanwhile, back to the action that is on the field. Randolph with the pass right up the middle of the field to Carl Davis. Davis will keep his balance and be able to make it in, and that is a 93-yard touchdown pass play.
And he almost walked him down, except for he turned to one side and threw him off. Now that was some heads-up quarterbacking. The man was right in the middle by himself for 90 yards, 93 yards.
And so Edward Randolph comes in to operate the quarterback, taking over for Terrence Randolph. And here, a short pass play right up the middle. The ball was short when he threw it, but the receiver was able to turn it into a long run. And we hadn't heard a lot from Carl Davis earlier in this game, which kind of surprised me a little bit because he's one of those guys, along with Bernard Stiggers, that has some speed to burn there on that receiving corner. But now here, finally, it's late in the game. Carl Davis is in there, 93 yards later, a touchdown.
Well, you know, it looks like the brothers here, if they're brothers, Randolph, and the brothers Randolph, we'll call them, Terrence and Edward, it looks like they think that they might be able to compete for a position here. Yeah, be some competition. Now, that's the first pass for Randolph. For Edward, right? Edward Randolph, that's his first pass, and it's a completion for 93-yard touchdown.
And a touchdown, yes. Yeah.
So, he might be competing. He might go back and tell his brother, now watch out, you may not have a job next week. At least you'll have a job, but I'll be starting.
Yeah, well, of course, the two Randolphs can battle it out for that quarterback spot as long as number 12 is not back in there, and he would be Mike McDade. Had a chance to see him run the offense the last couple of years here. And
well, Mike McDade is one great quarterback, but at the same time, Mike McDade has to come back and do some recuperating because wasn't it a torn tendon or not a tendon or some kind of muscle he tore, but at the same time he's got to come back, recoup, and get that same speed and that arm back together and have the same kind of quarterbacking ability. Now, you never really lose that, but if you're competing with some guys, especially one guy that just threw a touchdown pass for 93 yards, now that's a confidence builder for you, whatever you want to call it.
Interestingly enough, it was Carl Davis who just caught that pass and ran 93 yards or thereabouts for that touchdown. And looking on our roster here, he's listed as a quarterback. And so it just goes back to something I said earlier. A lot of these guys play a bunch of different positions, and Davis, most of the time I've seen him, he's always been listed as a quarterback, but most of the time I've seen him, he's played wide receiver. I think only once did I ever see him play quarterback, and that was usually late in a situation like this where it's, 46-6 or something like it is now. But
Carl Davis is quarterback, and he's 6'3", 200 pounds, so he's a big guy. He's a big guy with some speed. Now, that would be key for a quarterback position, but even better for a wide receiver,
yes.
One to go up and get the ball. So, quarterback to quarterback is always make a good combination.
Yeah, they know what the other is
They
thinking.
know what the other one's thinking, what you have to think at that position.
So Blanchard tees it up again, 7:33 to go, clock is moving. This one bounces in front of B.J. Thomas into the end zone, and he will finally take a knee. Dallas Diesel now lead 46-6 here over the Oklahoma Bad Boys.
They still got some time to do some scoring. What they want to do is get down there and put one or two different scorers on the board if they can. That way they can go home with a little bit more honor than leaving here 46-6. They haven't been able to score since the second quarter.
And they do want to try to find some positives, I guess, that they can take into next week.
Yeah, well, it depends on who do they play next week. The Bad Boys. Oh, here they are.
They have an open date, actually, next week, so maybe that will be a good thing for them, especially with all the injuries that they had, not even to be able to bring the whole squad here tonight. Now, what we can tell you is that a week from Saturday, a week from the time we're taping this anyway, Saturday, August 2nd, the Dallas Diesel will be back home to entertain the Arlington Panthers, and it should be a big Metroplex clash there.
Well, Jody Saran, the owner, who was the owner of the Arlington Panthers last year, tried to put together a pretty good squad. As a matter of fact, they went 9-2 before the playoffs. Then they went down and played the Hammond Thunder team and ended up losing by like 20 points. But that doesn't really mean a whole lot. What they've done so far is get themselves prepared. to come and try to win this thing all over again. Because last year they were 9-2. There was only a couple teams that got close to beating them. And the two teams that did beat them, they just barely beat them. So now we're playing, they'll be playing us because now we've got a citywide rivalry going on and we want to be the best. And they think that they're the best, so I guess we'll show them. I guess the Dallas Diesel will show them.
That's right. We shall see.
We shall see. We will be there. Ready to play.
6:36 to go now. The clock is moving again. Handoff going straight up the middle this time for Oklahoma. They have a new quarterback.
Who is that, number 8 is quarterbacking for him now?
It is number 8, and we'll see if we have anything on him. We don't.
So he must have, well, we'll find out more about him. They got him at quarterback 5, Rusty Stone. They're playing a little bit more conservative football now. I guess it's just run the ball and work on their techniques now. It's the blocking scheme and do whatever they need to do now.
And try to work on the clock a little bit.
Yeah, work the clock down, get some good passes.
Well, kind of an inauspicious debut for head coach Brad McMullen of Oklahoma. And I don't know if you heard me mention, he's only 20 years old.
Oh, is he only 20 years old?
Yeah.
That gentleman that was just in here?
Yes.
That's good.
He's a student at the University of Oklahoma. He's a native of Norman. That's where OU is located. Played some ball himself, won a state championship up there in Norman, and now he's going to finish his undergrad early and go to law school.
Well, at least he'll be in the right position. He'll be able to do something.
Get down there.
With at least he'll be able to come up with some kind of legal jargon to help his team win.
That's right.
Especially if they come back down here into Texas, because these Texas boys don't play. And considering the fact that Dallas is one of and Texas, Florida, and California is known for their football. Oklahoma is too, but I don't think they can compete with some of these Texas boys.
Well, it's mostly going to be Texans seeing this on cable, so I guess you can go ahead and say that.
I'm going to keep saying that because I'm a Texan, and I enjoy Texas football. Texas, the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Oilers, anything in Texas that plays football. Now, this is the state for football, and now the Floridians, they may argue that. Californians, they may argue that, considering the fact that they've been winning this Texas-California shootout for the past couple of years, but that doesn't matter because if they were to come down here with some of the guys we got on this team to play, look at this. You see what I mean?
Well,
Will you put this on?
they were in all over him early. First man in, 33, Anthony Rowans.
Now he's going to hot dog a little bit. Well, that's okay because we've got a lot of support from the Carrollton Farmers branch, and this team is, from the mayors and everyone here. They really want to support us, and we got a pretty good stands full of people. The people like football here. I like it.
Oh, that's right, and high school football is about to get into full swing in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Teams
We go
will start
down to Oklahoma on September 13th. That's where we get to go there and play them. And it's going to be almost about the same result. Maybe not the same result, but we're going to come away with the win.
Well, it depends on who exactly Oklahoma has to dress. If they have more of their people available that night, Brad McMullen was saying this is not a bad team. Short punt downed at the 38, 39-yard line, somewhere in there. So that's only going to give Dallas excellent field position again.
And I'm going to tell you, the guys that are going out there right now aren't the starters. What they're looking to do is prove themselves to be as good as the starters, so they're going out to score. And they're going to open holes. That number 69 on the offense. Let me see. Is he on here? They don't even have his number on here. Well, 69 on offense. He's a big guy. He's an offensive guard. He stands about 6'5" or 6'6", and he opens wide holes.
Yeah, and
Let's see if they bring it over him this time.
there are a lot of guys here for the Dallas Diesel listed just as reserves without a number, and Edward Randolph tries the option to the far sideline, slips down. talking about injuries, earlier tonight we saw Randall Moeller, wearing number 9, defensive back for Oklahoma, go down, and I was told at the half that a torn ACL is the preliminary indication.
Well, we'll be praying for him. Let's hope that he gets better. You know, that things happen. Things happen the way they do is because of it's all football. Of course, it wasn't intentional, you know, but it was something that happened. He probably went down and slipped and fell and just got hit good. But either way it goes, we got our prayers out for him to get better. We'd like to see him on the 13th of September, suited up and ready to play.
Yeah, that's right. September 13th, the Dallas Diesel will travel up to Oklahoma City to take on these same Oklahoma Bad Boys. Maybe they won't be the same. Maybe they'll have some more people to dress in. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but head coach Brad McMullen wanted me to say hi to his sister Alicia McMullen, who lives in Dallas, and we understand she's enjoying this cable cast right here on DC TV. She's out of OU just like her brother.
You just missed one heck of a tackle by the punter slash kicker slash linebacker of the Oklahoma Bad Boys, Mike Jones. He
got a personal foul on number
he hit
71.
Edward Randolph with a heck of a blow to stand him up. It's a wonder that they all don't have their hands on their knees. They've been out here for a long period playing football.
And so that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning.
White ejected.
Ooh, and I just saw 71 Robert Garza come out of the game. I thought it was just a substitution so he could get some rest, but no, a personal foul, and he's out of there. The third player ejected from this game, second from the Dallas Diesel.
Well, we don't need that kind of play out here. Anything personal. I mean, when you're up 46-6, why would you want to hit some? Why would you want to commit personal fouls? There's nothing personal out there. Even though you know that the defense is probably really frustrated simply because they haven't been able to the defense for the defensive team on the field right now is frustrated because their offense hasn't been able to score. But that still doesn't, justify anybody with an attitude to go out there and personal foul. Now, our team on the Dallas Diesel is committing the personal foul.
Yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. But
oh, that's amazing. But I'm pretty sure that when they see this and they're going to see how it happened, it probably happened because I know Garza personal, and he's not usually. He's more of a quiet individual. He's an offensive lineman. Offensive linemen are the quiet ones. They go out there, you tell them to open a hole, and that's the ones that they open. Defensive people are the ones that usually have the most problems. They're the ones with the most attitude.
So 1:57 remaining in the game now. The Dallas Diesel with that 40-point lead. And I guess as long as nobody was hurt, then that little ejection there for Robert Garza maybe really won't matter. The important thing is as long as nobody gets hurt that they're winning. So
yeah, no one's hurt. They're winning, and they got the ball. They're on their own 43-yard line, and there's no better position for them. Now all they have to do is just run the ball a little bit and let the clock run away, which is something the coach is probably telling them to do. They're in that wide out position. They're going to shift down.
Another one of those guys who can play more than one position, Jimmy Rogers, number 84. He's in at wide receiver, split to the near side. Edward Randolph is flushed out of the pocket. He fires for Rogers, hits him in the shoulder pads, can't hang on to it, out of bounds, over on the 30-yard line.
So we got a fourth down here. Well, they get excited out there. That was a good roll for the quarterback. Quarterback rolled to the left of the field and threw a pass on the run and hit his player and hit it.
And even though it's fourth down, it looks like they've called the kicker back. Hudson was out there, and they're going to send Edward Randolph back in. Ryan Wallace now will bring the play in. Clock is running now, 1:10 remaining and moving. Three wide receivers come to the near side. Well, now Smith goes off the field, so just two wide receivers. Ricky Jones moves back into the tight end on the near side. Edward Randolph all night to throw the ball. He lofts it. Oh, had his receiver open for a split second there, and coming in at the last possible second was Andrell Earl to break that one up. That might possibly have been another touchdown for the Dallas Diesel.
Yeah, he had enough time in there in the fourth quarter. Well, at least he's given it. And I think I'm going to commend Coach Jewell for that, because what he did on the fourth down was go fourth and 20 at the time?
Something like that, yeah, it looked like it.
And he threw a bomb, just so that he can give Oklahoma, it seemed like to me, Oklahoma an opportunity to put another score on the board, because he's giving them great field position. I mean, let them keep their face a little bit. I mean, no need to kill them or stab them dead.
Yeah.
You want to hurt them, but you don't want to hurt them so bad that they probably wouldn't want to play here again.
Well, the interesting thing is that the whole time they've made the transition, the clock has been moving 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is going to do it. So, the Dallas Diesel, an old team that's really a new team, a successful debut here in '97, as they defeat the Oklahoma Bad Boys 46-6.
46-6. This is one heck of an opening for the Dallas Diesel season. That means that next week they're going to go up against the Arlington Panthers for bragging rights of the cities, and this is going to make them real confident coming into the game. I hope not too confident.
And it will be just the first of the tangles between the Dallas Diesel and Arlington Panthers. The Dallas Diesel will have a chance to get Arlington here at Dallas's home to start things off. That game will be played Saturday, August 9th at Standridge Stadium. Just take the Valwood Parkway exit off of Stemmons Freeway, and you'll be right there.
Oh, they play them on August the 2nd. August the 9th, they play the Houston Hurricanes.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so let me rephrase. It's Saturday, August the 2nd, which should be this Saturday immediately coming up at the time you're seeing this. Saturday, August 9th, the Rampage will be back at home, this time to take on another metropolitan team, the Houston Hurricanes. Saturday, August 16th, Dallas will head to Houston to take on the Houston Buccaneers. And then August 23rd, Dallas will be back home to take on the Tarrant County Diablos. So, once again, another Metroplex foe there that they'll be playing early.
Well, the Tarrant County Diablos are a very new team, and they play. This is going to be their first year playing. A lot of these teams are starting off first years, but this team has a combination of a lot of different teams. Now you can see in the middle of the field that the team has, both teams have come to prayer.
And this is, something we've seen here in the 90s. And something I think that's good to see, that once it's all said and done, players on both teams, and we've seen it at the professional level, now we're seeing here at the minor league level, that after it's all over, hey, it's just a game. We can all come together afterwards and, still be friends and brothers alike.
Brothers, and mainly brothers. And, we still have a love for you regardless what we've done on the field. Well, Dave?
Well, if you have maybe players of the game, I guess probably the Texas Rampage, or the Dallas Diesel, I've done it again. The Dallas Diesel would probably get the nod. If you had an offensive player of the game for them, who do you think it would be?
I would have to give it probably more likely to the running back, number 44, because he carried the brunt of the offense, carrying the ball, getting them on an initial good start, then coming out and just, boosting the team up when they needed some boosting.
Well, Jarvis Smith did do some good running with the ball. I don't know, I might want to lean a little bit to Terrence Randolph there, coming in a quarterback here in place of the injured Mike McDade. I think Randolph did a great job staying in and leading this offensive unit.
Well, that's two people, because Terrence did do a good job. He didn't have any interceptions, I don't think. Nope. He may not have had any as many completions as he wanted, but no interceptions, which is good for him. And the team won, so he led them into a win.
Yeah, I think he might have had one interception in the first half.
Was that an interception?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it showed he had two. He had two interceptions.
That's right.
He had two interceptions because it was intercepted by the same individual. He tried to force the pass, but that's okay. He rallied his boys together in the third period, and they came up ahead in the fourth period by 33 points, only to win by 40 points.
So once again, the final here from Standridge Stadium, the Dallas Diesel-46, the Oklahoma Bad Boys 6. And for Marcus Dixon, this is Robert Eicher saying so long, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.